Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Vinay and we like watching anime. My favorite anime is One Piece, but we react to everything: action, horror, comedy, thriller, slice of life, rom-com, deep dark, and bizarre animes as well. But let's get to some detective work out there. We are watching Moriarty the Patriot. We are on season 1, episode 9. And guess what, guys? We are finally getting to see Sherlock in action. Our favorite crime, well, not crime consultant. What would that be? Our favorite detective, a consulting detective, right? And he is pitted against, or he's being tested by Mr. Moriarty, Mr. William James Moriarty. As you know, he's the crime consultant of this entire world, and we are seeing the view of the world through his eyes, through his point of view, and I'm kind of quite liking it because it's 8 episodes in, and we are finally introduced to Sherlock. The episode's called Study in S, Act 2. Well, last episode, we kind of got introduced to Watson and Lestrade and all the other team members, sort of stuff. If you watch Sherlock, you know what I'm talking about. The thing is, right, this Sherlock, and based on every other Sherlock that I've seen, he's not that cocky, He's not that strayed away from human emotions or something like that. He seems to be much more rational Sherlock, or at least down to earth Sherlock. Hmm, I don't know, but hey, if you agree with me, let me know. If you don't, let me know as well. That's just how it goes. That's what we do here. By the way, if you haven't watched the previous episodes of Yukoku no Moriarty or all the other anime that I've been watching, there's a link in the description for the playlist, and hopefully you'll enjoy it with me as well. So, without further ado, just to give you a little bit context, Sherlock is framed for a murder, Moriarty is testing him, and well, he's arrested as well because, well, Sherlock is a pain in the A, and if he's the suspect, he will get arrested. Well, it's now up to Sherlock to prove himself to be guilty, and he has lots of alibis. By the way, Sherlock was already with Watson and his landlord over there in different place altogether, so he couldn't have possibly committed murder, or could he? So let's find out together. That's episode 9 of Yukoku no Moriarty, season 1.
おい、どこ行く？早く乗れ。うるせえな。どうした、ホームズ。また何か見つけたのか。ああ、面白いね。さてと、レストレード。俺を逃がせ。
I think I was too early to say he's not as cocky.
コンサルティングディテクティブだ。これで奴の終わりですよ。警部。
Of course, there are people who hate Sherlock. He's a know-it-all.
レストレード。俺を逃がせ。俺は謎が解けりゃそれでいい。真犯人を捕まえて手柄は全部お前にくれる。だからお前に一仕事頼みたい。真犯人か。本当に見つけ出せるんだろうな。ホームズ。
Well, at least here we kind of see that Sherlock has sort of friends, let's say.
警部、すまん。急に馬が言う。
Come on, we have to trust Sherlock. He gave something to Watson.
待たせたな。シャーロック。うまく逃げ出せたようでよかった。君がくれたメモにあった通り、警部が協力してくれた。
Hmm.
ああ、けどこれで俺は完全にお尋ね者だ。じゃあ、本当に手伝ってくれるのか？もちろんだ。君が捕まったら僕が家賃を一人で払わない。そうならないようにさっさと片をつけないとね。
He's already thinking about him as a roommate.
真犯人か。誰かまではまだわからない。だが、こいつで罠を仕掛けておびき寄せればいい。指輪？もしかして、あの時。俺には盗みの才能もあるみたいだな。この先、君の能力が正義のために使われることを祈るよ。
This kind of cheerful Sherlock creeps me out.
すまない。しかし、あれだけはどうしても取り戻したい。命より大切なものなんだ。大丈夫ですか？
Isn't that Fred?
ブリクストン通りのローリストンガーデンズ3番地にて金の指輪を収 心当たりの方はベーカー街 221B ワトソン博士の手か。
Watson.
罠を仕掛けてきたか。ブレッドを行かせていいんですか？劇にアドリブはつきものだよ。それにこれはホープの最後の願い。
Hope.
叶えてやってもいいだろう。よし、餌は負けたな。これから何が起こるんだ。まあ見てなって。
ホームズ、みんなを集めてきたぜ。
君たちは
俺はベーカー
Hmm.
ストリートイレギュラー
He's got his own network of
ベーカーストリート
informants.
見ての通り宿なしの小汚いガキどもだ。
病は余計だ。
うせ者探しから使いっ走りまで何でもこなす。なんせ町そのものが家なんだ。警察よりよっぽど役に立つぜ。ま、俺の手足みたいなもんだ。
Our consulting detective has his own network.
俺たちはただじゃ絶対動かねえからな。
わかったわかった。打賃は弾んでやるから一働き頼む。シャーロック、彼らに何をさせる気なんだ。ちょっとした手伝いさ。
I don't seem to understand how Sherlock earns a living. Like, he's a consulting detective. Does that mean they pay him? Because he's a consulting detective. I don't think he's in it for money, right? It's just always baffled me that Sherlock somehow has enough. Well, I don't know if he has enough, but he is making a living sort of doing some things. I don't know if people pay him for what he does. Like actual people, probably. Because he's a consulting detective. So if somebody's supposed to hire him, like as an investigator, yes, that makes sense. But is that enough? And how much is it? Because he has to share the flat with the roommate. I don't know. That should not be much. Also, I don't think the police kind of has to pay him for it. He will do it regardless. You can see that he has this tendency of doing the detective work. So he enjoys it. He loves it. And also, I've said this before, but this Sherlock is not that cocky Sherlock, the arrogant Sherlock that we've seen so far in other world, like real movies or TV shows, and just in books. I don't know, but doesn't match. I don't know if it's just me, but not. But it doesn't match. Doesn't match. Like Moriarty being that calm and composed and that sort of in mysterious character that nobody knows what's going on in his mind, but he has this. I don't know if he has this facade or this. It's just that his personality is very like cheerful and happy. That same, I don't see it in Sherlock. I don't know what you think. Let me know what you think, cause I would love to. But this is a new take on Sherlock. I'm still getting used to who is, because that did not seem to be the way when we first got introduced to Sherlock in the on the ship, because he was like showing off and to women and talking about Moriarty and what he could be, possibly be a mathematician or something like that. He figured it out immediately, and he was showing off. So that's the Sherlock I'm used to. Whereas this one, maybe I'm speaking a bit too early. We'll find out.
ルーシーか。女性ものの結婚指輪。衣装から見て貴族のものではないな。シャーロックの推理ではこれは犯人が落としていったもの。つまり唯一の証拠品。
And the police, of course, didn't find it.
必ず取り返しに来るということだが。指の太さから言って犯人は小柄な伯爵よりずっと大きい男だ。犯人は大柄な男。
Remember, Watson was in military, so he knows how to fight.
はい、どちら様でしょう。
新聞広告にあった指輪をいただきに参りました。
Oh,
それは私の娘ルーシーのものでございます。
ローバ。
指輪の内側に名前が刻まれておりましょう。
ええ。
娘からは3番地付近で落としたと聞いております。娘は昨年結婚したば
that's Fred. 100%.
亡くしたと知れば、あれの夫はひどく怒るでしょう。
そうでしたか。ではこれを。
That's a fake. Either that's a fake or he's supposed to follow him. No authentication, just here's your ring. Hmm. Okay. Sherlock has his own network. Whoa! I didn't expect a hand-to-hand combat. Huh? Oh, damn! Fred is awesome. How did he get there?
くそ、やっぱ簡単には捕まえさせてくんねえか。まんまとやられたぜ。さっきのやつが君の言う切れ者の黒幕なのか。いや、あいつは黒幕の一味だろうな。黒幕の一味。
Oh, so Sherlock already knows
ある種の組織なのか。
there's a mastermind.
おそらくな。だが、今は伯爵殺しの犯人を捕まえるのが先だ。しかし、手がかりだった指輪も奪われてしまったし。あ？何言ってんだ、ジョン。殺しの方はもうじき解決だぜ。
What?
伯爵殺しの真犯人が分かったのか。
How?
一体どこのドイツなんだ。ちょうどいい。あそこの店で待ってるくらい。
Wait, why do I think that the ring had nothing to do with who the killer was? I think the ring was just a way for Sherlock to find out who the mastermind behind this is. And he suspected that there is a mastermind behind this, behind all this attempt, well, murder and framing Sherlock. By what? What gave it away? There was nothing there. Like, it could very well be just somebody killing the Count. I guess people don't normally go on to kill the Count, and that's what made him suspicious. But what are the leads? This was nothing. We saw the crime scene. We didn't see anything over there that seemed like, oh, this is what it could be. It could be there could be a mastermind or somebody is using somebody to do this murder. There's nothing there. And the ring, maybe, but that didn't give me away anything. See, this is why I like detective animes because there is so much there that we didn't see, and that was right in front of our eyes, and we were like, oh, we never noticed it. And that's why we need somebody like Sherlock to figure it out. We only saw what Watson's analysis of the body was or the scene was. We didn't hear anything about the Lestrade or the police's, the cops' crime scene investigation or anything. It's just Sherlock took a look, got something, got an eye on the ring, and went on to do some stuff that probably we're not even aware of. Wow. I'm impressed. I'm impressed by Sherlock.
シャーロック。シャーロック、本当に犯人が分かったのか。すぐ教えてくれればいいものの。行くぞ、ジョン。レストレードからこれが届いた。読んでみな。
There you go. That's what we need to see.
レストレードにはドレッバー伯爵の過去を調べてもらっていた。奴は無類の女好きで、特に身分の低い女性をいたぶるのがお好みのようで、
Ugh.
ちょうどひどい目に遭わされたのもいたらしい。大抵は金で肩をつけていたみたいだが、その中でそれでは済まなかった事例があった。ルーシー・フリン、地元の農夫ジェファーソン・ホープと結婚を誓い合った仲だ。
Jefferson Hope.
彼女も行方不明の後、亡き殻だけが戻ってきた。その体にはおぞましい傷跡がいくつもあったとのことだ。
No.
なんとも痛ましい話だな。だとすると、真犯人は、ああ、そのジェファーソン・ホープこそが伯爵同士の犯人であり、そして、この辻馬車の魚車だ。
Oh, what?
ビンゴだろ。
Whoa.
驚いたな。そこまで調べ上げていたとは。
ジョン、殺人犯が狩る馬車に乗るなんて、なかなか経験できねえぞ。ルーシーというのが、ジェファーソン・ホープにつながる人物だとして、それだけじゃ、この魚車がホープってことにはならないんじゃないか。それはそう。俺はこの事件を2つの線から推理した。
Okay.
話した指輪。もう一つは車輪の跡だ。あの晩は雨が降ったおかげで、はっきりと跡が残ってるんだ。あの
Whoa.
二頭立て四輪馬車持ちの貴族の家。
All right.
だが唯一、
That's what we missed.
狭い小さな辻馬車の跡があった。辻馬車で現れて殺人を犯し、そのまま乗って帰るバカな客なんていない。乗り降りの際に業者に姿を見られちまうんだからな。
That's literally.
犯人はそうした危険を全く
I'll speak about it.
必要がないと。つまり辻馬車を買ってきた業者本人。そこでイレギュラーズに次の条件に当てはまるものを探させた。辻馬車の業者、太い指を持つ大男、そして事件当日3番地へ行ったの。すぐに人を
Wow.
それがジェファーソン・ホープ。
Smart.
そしてレストレードの報告にもホープの名があった。とまあ、お前にたどり着くのは難しくはなかったぜ、ホープ。ただ一つ、なぜあんな荒いやり口でドレッバーを殺した？お前
That's where Mr. Moriarty comes in.
と周到で美しいものだったんじゃないのか？
確かにもっと手際よくやるはずだった。だがいざ奴をドレッバーを目の前にするとな。
Oh, he lost his control. That's a miss on his part.
奴はルーシーを殺したも同然だ。そんな相手を前に冷静でいられると思うか？
Alright.
シャーロック・ホームズ、
A valid crash out, I guess.
私と一つ取引しないか？
ジェファーソン・ホーク、目的を果たしたというならもういいじゃないか。おとなしく自首したまえ。
自首か。
Yep.
ご覧の通り、私はもう長くはない。すでに死んでいるも同然なんだよ。それゆえ、あのお方に命を差し出した。
それで取引の条件は？
とても簡単なことだ。貴族の戯れによって人生が破滅した私という男の物語を終わらせること。
What? That would make him a criminal.
つまり、あんたがこの私を殺すことだ。ドレッバーの悪行を吐いたあんたの手で死ねるなら本望だ。
Nah. Sherlock doesn't kill people, guys.
あいつ
ルーシーの指輪を取り返してくれたものだ。私の人生を終わらせてくれる。
I see what Moriarty is testing.
教える約束になっている。
自分が死んだ後のことまで考えてくれてるとは至れり尽くせりだな。
ああ、そうだ。あのお方は本当にすごい。言われた通りの時間にドレッバーの屋敷に行くと、まるで魔法のように扉は開き、邪魔者は誰一人いなかったんだ。まさに犯罪の天才だよ。あのお方はあんたを高く立っているぞ。現場に名を残させ、事件を解決できるか試させるほどにな。
目的は何だ？どうしてそんな手の込んだ真似を？
それ以上は私を殺してから聞くんだな。
けど
Alright, I know what's happening. This is my theory. I think Moriarty is testing how far is Sherlock willing to go. See, right now, I don't think he will find that answer, but I think this is one part of it. So, for Moriarty, Sherlock is this complete unknown person who may prove to be a hurdle in his grand scheme, right? And he wants to know what makes Sherlock tick, right? Right now, we know nothing about Sherlock. We just know Sherlock Holmes exists. He's this genius consulting detective who, well, solved the case. And I think he expected him to solve the case. He also expected, of course, Moriarty also expected that this guy, Hope, will also lose his head when he's at the crime scene and end up doing something that makes Sherlock's life easier. Like for me, when I see this case, when you see what exactly happened, I don't think it's really very difficult for even a normal detective to carry out or to think how to draw the conclusion of who perhaps could be the murderer. Right now, it's very obvious when you connect the dots, but you have to still mention the dots. For Sherlock, he's able to put these dots simply with ease. it's his side quest of the main quest that's much more interesting because that's building up to a different story, a different timeline. Now, for those of you who've not watched Sherlock Holmes, the actual TV show or the movies, this cab thing is literally the first episode. And nothing, this is not a spoiler. It's just that you will understand what I'm talking about while you're watching the show. So if you didn't watch it, hey, there's a recommendation from me. And again, coming back to this case, right? If Moriarty finds out what length Sherlock is willing to go, he can make he can then make plans based on that. It's just simply the fact that how Joker knows Batman won't kill him, right? And then he tries to push Batman to the point where, eh, this is where you kill. But um, Batman ends up again putting him in the asylum, and he ends up breaking back. The cycle continues, and I think Moriarty wants to find out if that would be the case with Sherlock, whether or not he will always be one step ahead of Moriarty, but then his, let's say, personality is what allows Moriarty to catch up, right, and get ahead of him. That's what I think. Now, also, one more thing. Sherlock up until this point is just Sherlock, right? He doesn't have Watson with him. How Sherlock Holmes and Watson combined is like collectively a totally different scenario. What Sherlock won't be willing to do, maybe Watson will be willing to do. And he's a military man, so he probably might have done it like before that. But this is a very simple scenario. Like Sherlock just needs to hand over the guy to the police. He won't be killing a man that is already on the verge of death.
俺は今のとこ逃走中の容疑者なんだぜ。お前を殺したらこのまま俺はお尋ね者だ。
心配するな。俺を撃てば奴がお前に都合のいい証言をする目撃者を用意してくれる手はずになっている。どうだ、お前にとってもいい話だ。この選択は互いにとってメリットしかない。
Does that not mean Sherlock is already in a dangerous situation? There you go. He's got eyes everywhere.
なるほど。そういうことなら安心だね。
Okay.
やめろ、シャーク。こんなのは間違ってる。
See?
なぜだ。俺にとってもこいつにとってもいいことしかねえけど。それでもダメだ。そんなことしたら取り返しがつかないぞ。
聞くな、ホームズ。お前は
Spoken like a guy who knows
ならば答えは決ま
what the consequences of doing that are.
あのお方のことを知りたいんだろう。さあ、俺を撃て。そうすればお前は。
銃を下ろせ、シャーロック。やめろー。
Already shot it, but probably not at him.
バーカ殺すわけねえじゃん。
あのお方のことを知りたくないのか。
Nope.
俺のこと
No need. No need.
何が教えてやるかこの野郎。いいか。なぞってみろ。
Nice.
教えられて面白いわけねえだろ。このタゴ。よかった。本当によかった。
No, Sherlock would do it, my man.
なんだショーン。一瞬でも君のことを疑った僕を許してくれ。わかった。すまんな、ボブ。お前の最後の願いを叶えてやりたくて。有能なスコットランドヤードの諸君、紹介するぜ。彼こそイーロック・ジェイ・ドレッバー伯爵殺害の真犯人、ジェファーソン・ホーカー。ホームズ、貴様。ホームズ。
Hmm.
約束は果たしたぜ、レストレード。
指紋探偵シャーロック・ホームズ。
Very cheerful. Very annoying.
殺人事件の立案者と実行者が別であることを見抜くとは、彼の探偵
Exactly.
本物のようだな。
今回のオーディションは最大の効果を生んだ。僕が試したかったのはホームズの資質。それは彼が目的のためには手段を選
Guys, I don't have a criminal mind, I promise.
兄さんの分析では事件の背後で糸を引く者に強い興味を持っているはずだった。なのに彼は殺さなかった。僕たちのように目的のために手段を選ばない人間ではない。つまり的確者ということですね。
Oh, now.
彼はこれから僕たちがロンドンを舞台に演じる犯罪劇を解き明かす役を担うことになる。
Whoa. Is he another piece in your puzzle?
この世の闇に光を照らす主人公になってもらおう。シャーロック・ホームズ。
I wouldn't be surprised.
もうまさか
Are we settled in,
出てくるか。
Rumi?
ここで君と暮らしている限り日記を書くのに困ることはなさそうだな。
Oh, a study in Scarlet. Ah, well, the episode's name was Study in Scarlet. I read it as Study in S. Interesting, isn't it? A lot of our hypotheses do actually come true here, but that's just because I watched a lot of Sherlock and a lot of detective anime as well. But anyway, Mr. Moriarty is creating, well, he's playing his own game and he's found a new piece to add to his game, which he will be giving the role of the leading man in this game of his that he's playing. In all fairness, I would say if Moriarty and Sherlock go head to head, I think Moriarty wins at this point in time. And you know what I mean, like they're not physical fighting or just how do you say it, intelligent battle kind of. No, it's just that Moriarty has been kind of sort of creating this web of crimes and criminals, even like I think I don't know since when, but probably when he was just a kid, right? And he's grown up, and I think his web is way too big. So even if somehow Moriarty ends up, let's say, let's say Sherlock gets him the justice, and justice prevails, at least in Sherlock's side of things. I don't think Moriarty will still be causing troubles long after he's caught or he's dead or other things like that, because he's just that intricate. He just has that sort of like connections or network out there right now, and probably not just in Scotland Yard. Whereas Sherlock is this detective in Scotland Yard, which is, I don't know how big of an area that is in this anime, but it's not that big, guys. It's not that big. Like Sherlock knows how to get things done, but he's still very small in compared to the mastermind that is James Moriarty. That's why the show is called Yukoku no Moriarty and not Sherlock Holmes, guys. But interestingly, now we'll see them clash more often against each other, and that's what keeps us hooked to this anime. So let me know what you think about this episode in the comments, or theories, or hypotheses. Also, do you think that was actually like the nobles in this era are just scums? Like there are only some few people who are actually down to earth and kind creatures, like Moriarty's brother, Albert Moriarty, who was nice right from the start. But even his little brother was kind of a hole. And so are a lot of other folks, but they are on a much grander scale of an a-hole. They are like, I don't know, catching women and doing sort of things to them. It just doesn't sit well with me. Of course, thank God, Moriarty doesn't help people like this. Or I would just straight away rooting for Sherlock then, because Moriarty, we've seen him giving advice to criminals, but it's more so for revenge sort of purposes or just this sort of purposes, not exactly the bad sort of things that we know, that like drug deals or like other like murders and other stuff like that. So yeah, that's about it. That's what I know, and that was a nice, amazing episode. Curious to see what happens next, but that's about it for us for this episode, guys. See you for the next one. Till then, bye bye.